Tomatoes, please.
Very planned meal to look upper class that is highly unlikely to represent any meal we would ever have together.
Well, yes, yes, and I had the same reaction Dane was. To me, I looked at this table and went, "Wow, boy, that looks rather pretentious."
So you guys wouldn't eat this type of food? This is fancier food than you
I'd like to be more specific and say, Katrina, I hope that you will present us as we really are, instead of trying to caricature us into something we're not. I think back to when you were interviewing me. I've forgotten why the conversation went that way, but I said after college, and you stopped me and asked me specifically to say Harvard.
Whereas he wouldn't have said Harvard.
My going to Harvard wasn't about privilege. I earned my way to Harvard.
You don't think going to Harvard is a privilege?
I think going to Harvard is a privilege, but I'd have gone to Harvard if I had grown up in a very different family.
I never could have imagined going to Harvard.
You would have or you wouldn't have?
I would have.
Yeah.
I would have, because I taught myself to read before I was 4 years old. I worked my butt off at every level at school. I was...
But you can't assume if you were in a different family that you would have been in an environment that would have nurtured that.
I would have. I had plenty of classmates at Harvard who were in different families. It was schools where it was nurtured, if they did.
Your dad also went to Harvard?
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So my dad worked for the phone company, and he went to night school to get his college degree. For me, it was the University of Oregon. Go Ducks. But when I sit back, I don't think you're lying. I don't. But when I think, okay, your dad went to Harvard, that's an up.
Didn't most of our parents go to, where did your dad go?
I'm either third or fourth generation Princeton.
So Princeton, Brown, Harvard,
Yeah,
Brown.
we're representative of white America, aren't we?
Night school. Harvard. Everybody but you.
Tom, I think you have a very important point.
Tom, is something you want to talk about?
I'm going to go eat in the kitchen. That's what I'm going to do.
The reason
You've never met?
not in person.
Only on TV? Now that we're moving along the process, my goal is to let people hear from a teenage perspective what adults really need to hear.
I don't be scared to tell Miss Julie nothing. Like she asked me this silly question the other day. Do we have choices? Don't y'all think y'all have choices? Everybody have choices, huh? So I'm like, yeah, we have choices. We not supposed to, you know? I was kind of upset.
Anybody wants to talk about that?
Yeah.
What do you mean choices like?
Is that question more about having free will or your fate being predetermined?
Well, what about like just how much money your mother or father makes and where you can live and what schools you can go to and things like that?
I don't even think about stuff like that.
I had a choice. I could have went to any school I wanted to. You could either go to Culver or Everson.
They're quite similar, right? Public schools, large, in disadvantaged neighborhoods.
Why did you say disadvantaged neighborhoods?
You act like you have to be rich to go to all these different schools. It does not matter if you have money. You could be broke. You could be homeless. It depends on how smart you is. People go to public schools and they end up lawyers, doctors.
The statistics about teenage pregnancy and early motherhood are mostly associated with low income.
Statistics don't walk around with those people and live their life. Numbers, that's all y'all know about.
The things that happen at these public disadvantaged schools is also happening at these private rich schools.
You mean
just
sex, like early pregnancy, abortion, drugs?
All day. And you know Miss Julie.
Right.
Mr. Robinson, I hate to tell you this. I'm dropping out, and this time I can't come back.
In the beginning, Kamika thought I had something against her, but I saw that she had something inside of her, and I wouldn't accept mediocre, and she ran away from it.
Can these kids want to succeed?
Your choice is there. The choice is that if you really want to succeed, you can.
Are you saying this because you're a teacher and you have to
I'm
encourage
saying
this?
that because I came from Lower Ninth Ward, I came from Desire. I came to this school, I come from this area. You have a choice. And it's not environment, it is their choice.
I look at the teenagers, they make bad choices, but the thing I tell them, you know, we make mistakes, but we don't stop there. We learn from our mistake and we go on. See, this is a cruel society, very cruel. It's not the children, it's the system itself that's failing. There's no books.
It's not so much the materials. We like to have things. I'd like to have a modern map. I'd like to have overhead projector and computers, video discs, CD-ROM. All right, let's go. Everybody, let's go. I want you to go to your class quiet. And this is what I do.
Let me talk to you, Kamika. Where you plan to go from here? It's never too late, baby. So how we gonna move on? See, I'm not saying you. I'm gonna say we, because we're gonna get this education, okay? You need a hug? Come on, get one, baby. That's what. Get my little hug.
Okay, well, I guess this is kind of a touchy subject. I think y'all are reluctant to see your choices were as limited as mine were. I remember when I was 8th grade, my best friend went to Chappelle, and I wanted to go there. My parents were like, no way. It's not as good of a school as Newman. And it's not even just about high school, because after you go to high school, you have to go to college. I have this vision of success that's been sketched out for me all of my life. And to be successful in my world is to make money and to get a good job and to maybe, if you're lucky, like your job, enjoy doing it. My dad works a lot and he's not happy. My mom's not happy. I mean,
if you don't fulfill your own dreams, you're only gonna be sad in whatever it is that they want you to do. If you go ahead on along with that and do that, you're gonna be sad, and then you're not gonna like your job, and you're gonna have a nervous breakdown. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
I need to be conserved.